Hey guys, welcome back to my channel of the technology series of WordPress. Okay, now this is not exactly related to WordPress, but while you are building a WordPress website, you would also have a contact form on your page, right? Even if it is not a WordPress website, on any HTML website or any PHP website or any other programming language that you use to build your website, there will be a contact form. You might want to send emails to your clients, customers, or even receive emails when people try to get in touch with you through your website. Now, taking GoDaddy as an example, before we also have an episode of GoDaddy and WordPress installation. So go ahead and check it out. I'm putting the link in the description. Now the challenge with GoDaddy and emails are you cannot use any SMTP credentials or any SMTP service on your GoDaddy shared hosting. Okay, specifically shared hosting, because GoDaddy is so sure that people are going to mess up. Maybe that is why they have blocked all the ports, all the functionality of SMTP emails on their shared hosting. Now the trick over here is to enable your emails on your GoDaddy shared hosting. There are not many articles, there are not many ways that you will find on Google or on YouTube. So there is one simple way to do it, and there is only actually one way to do it. Okay, I'm going to do a small example, a small video on it, which will show you what credentials do you need to use, okay, to enable emails, so that you receive your emails in your inbox and it doesn't go in spam, because it is routed through GoDaddy's own email server. You cannot use any other email server, okay, specifically on shared hosting. Okay, keep this in mind, specifically for shared hosting on GoDaddy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you a small example of how you can do it in WordPress, in HTML and in PHP website.
Let's get started with an example of WordPress. WordPress has a plugin which can be installed, and emails can be sent from GoDaddy. This example is specifically for GoDaddy shared hosting. Let's log into the WP admin. After logging in, we'll go ahead and install a plugin which will handle all your SMTP configuration for your WP website. So for people who are not using any WordPress website, I'm also going to give you an example of a PHP website. How you can configure your SMTP in a PHP function. The credentials are same. There is no difference in using the GoDaddy localhost credentials for your SMTP. Let's go to the plugin section, add new. Okay, from here we cannot add it because HT access is not working properly. This is the plugin section. Let's go to add new plugin. Now we do not have a zip file of the plugin, so we'll directly go ahead and search for the plugin that we want. Let's search for a common word, that is SMTP. There's a huge list of SMTP plugins that WordPress provides, but we will go with the first one, WP Mail SMTP by WP Forms. Okay, now if you have restricted access to the hosting server, to the folder where your WordPress setup is, then you will have to provide some FTP details. If you do not have restricted access, then you will directly get an option to start installing this plugin. We saw that there is a restriction that you have to install all the plugins or anything that you want to install from the WP admin using an FTP. So there is a reason behind why this FTP window appeared. Now WordPress by default limits your WordPress installation or restricts it to the FTP mechanism that is there in the hosting. But if you're sure that you can directly install all the plugins using the WP admin, there is one simple configuration that you have to make in wp-config.php file, and that one line will let you directly install plugins from your WP admin. So let's go ahead and check where you have to write that statement. This is Sublime. I have opened wp-config.php file. Let's scroll down. On line number 60, I have written the statement define fs method direct. Okay, so this statement will let you install all the plugins directly from WP admin. Now there is a whole lot of concept behind writing the statement and why this should be written or this should not be written when you're working on a client website, or when you're on production or staging, that is your website installation is online. So if you're looking for more details about this, leave a comment and I will create a video on it. Now we'll install this first plugin. After installation, I will show you where you can go ahead and add those SMTP credentials. Okay, it's saying that there is some restriction in creating a folder that's inside the wp-content plugins folder. I'll go ahead and quickly fix that by giving the right permissions. File permissions are the most important thing when it comes to a WordPress website or probably any other website. But to secure your WordPress website, it's very important to give the right permissions. If you are looking for security related to file permissions, leave a comment and I'll create a nice video, simple steps of how file permissions can be set for your WordPress website. Click on install now. It should not take much time to install this plugin. Now while we are installing the plugin, let me switch to a step that we need to take in PHP. This is a PHP function. This is a very generic function and written using PHP mailer library. This I have copy pasted from one of the projects where CodeIgniter is used. So let's go to line number 14. Okay, on line number 12, I have enabled is SMTP. That means PHP mailer will start using the SMTP server. Now from line number 14 till line number 17, this is the core configuration that we need for GoDaddy shared hosting server. So as a host, you need to write localhost SMTP auth should be off, that is false. SMTP auto TLS should be off, that is false, and the port number should be 25. So on GoDaddy hosting, shared hosting, you use whichever SMTP credentials, it will never work. If it's a third-party credentials, you have you have purchased any SMTP server or services from any other service provider, it is not going to work on GoDaddy shared hosting server. So please use these credentials on any kind of website that you are building on shared hosting. Let it be WordPress, Node.js, PHP, let it be any other language, or plain HTML where you are using the PHP SMTP libraries or node modules anywhere. So use these credentials and your emails will start shooting out. There is a slight delay for the email delivery, but you will 100% receive emails from GoDaddy shared hosting. So this is this is an example of PHP. Our WP mail SMTP by WP forms is installed. Let's go ahead and activate the plugin. Once it's activated, it will start appearing on the left hand side menu. Great. So it has a wizard. Now using this wizard, we can set up the entire, we can configure the entire SMTP mailer, WP mail SMTP plugin. So we have a lot of options over here, but as I said, you know, if you're on GoDaddy shared hosting and you already have any such services you have purchased, or you know it's a free version, nothing is going to work. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to choose the last option, that is other SMTP, the one that I've ticked. Click save and continue. Now the SMTP host will be localhost, encryption will be none, because GoDaddy must be having their own mechanism to encrypt all the emails that is going through their server. The SMTP port is by default set to 25, which is correct. Do not change this. Auto TLS, switch it off. By default it's on, you need to switch it off. Authentication, you need to switch it off. From name, so now I'm building a website for Throttle Adda. If you're building a website for yourself or your client or anyone else, you can use the preferred name. Do you want to force from name? Yes, I do want this specific name to be sent in the email. From email, you can set it as anything. Usually if you're setting up this on a public domain, that is for example, let me say alvinchetia.com, so you should ideally use info or self, or you know something, whichever email you have is equal to alvinchetia.com. Okay, so basically you can use any email which is related to your domain. Force from email, yes. Let's save and continue. Okay, this is a preview of what all things you have set up till now. It's setting up, it's doing the final settings, and that's why it's taking some time. This is an option. If you want to, you know, set these options, read through it and choose whatever you need. I'll save and continue. If you have purchased this as a premium plugin, do enter your product license over here. I'll skip this step. Okay, now we are getting a message at step number 6. We just try to send a test email, but something prevented from, you know, that from working. Now this is my local, guys. Okay, this is my local computer. It's not GoDaddy. So the credentials that I've set up during this configuration wizard is not going to work. When you do this configuration on GoDaddy shared hosting, it will automatically send a test email and tell you that the credentials are working fine. So I'll just go ahead and finish the setup. Great. Do you see here email delivery error? The plugin WP mail SMTP logged this error during the last time I tried to send out an email. So that means the test failed, but the credentials are right for GoDaddy shared hosting. Okay, so for local you can choose any option, but this episode is all about setting credentials on basis of GoDaddy shared hosting server. Okay, with this we have completed our demo. So we have seen how to set up your GoDaddy SMTP credentials in WordPress admin using the WP Mail SMTP plugin, and we have also seen how to use it in your PHP script using the PHP mailer library. So as we are done with this video, if you like the demo for the WP shared hosting SMTP setup, do give this video a thumbs up. Do check out all the other videos that I've uploaded. do check out all the other WordPress videos that I've uploaded in the technology series of WordPress. It is going to definitely help you to build your own WordPress website for yourself or for your clients or for your friends and family. Do give it a do subscribe to the video, guys, because I'm going to keep on coming up with more and more WordPress website tutorials. Try sharing the videos for others' knowledge, to share knowledge with everyone, and see you soon, guys. Thank you for watching.